Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, and today we have some Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and another episode of DNA Saturday, which is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in DNA bombs. That was the create class we're going to be using throughout the entirety of this gameplay. If you guys would like, of course you can go back and pause the video, that way you can get a good look at the class, but keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking about the class up throughout this video. We're playing here on one of the brand new maps that we got the Reckoning DLC, playing of course on the map Fracture, running around with the royalty version of the STG44 in this gameplay is brought to you courtesy of Hospital Madness, who's actually a returning guest here on DNA Saturday. Might I just say, Mr. Hospital Madness, I am not a fan of you. I do not like you very much. I like your YouTube channel, I like your videos, but I don't like you personally as a person, because I saw the video you submitted to me. I watched the entire thing, and I noticed that you have not only the royalty version of the STG44, but you also have the relic, the legendary version of the STG44, and here I am, over here, well over 100 supply drops in, just sitting there just hoping and praying for just an enlisted version of this gun so I can at least unlock the base variant. Like, I wish I had the STG. There's people out there, it's all RNG, man, it's all RNG, so you really can't get that upset about it, but there's people out there, like Hospital Madness here, who have the legendary version and the royalty version of the STG, and there's people like me that have opened well over 100 advanced supply drops and regular supply drops combined since this has actually been released. I still don't have the STG44, and like, of all people, man, like, how often do I talk about World War II? How often do I talk about World at War being like my first and favorite Call of Duty? Like, you're gonna bring back a World War II rifle and not let Nero have it? Oh, it's painful. It is painful to me, but yes, ladies and gentlemen, actually right there, he almost fell into the water. That was actually an interesting aspect of the gameplay, was there's going to be certain points throughout the match where he actually really uses the dynamic element of Fracture, which is going to be, of course, part of the map actually drifts out to sea and part of it goes underwater. He kind of uses that to his advantage a little bit throughout this gameplay, which I think is pretty nice, as well as he's not going to be using the STG the entirety of this video. He's actually going to be running out of ammo on it here relatively soon. He's actually going to be picking up a Ball 27 and picking up maybe 4 or 5 kills with it or so before halftime. So just keep that in mind. I know some people really don't like it when you call something like an STG44 DNA bomb, when in reality, like 6 of the kills were with the Ball 27, but I still think it counts and it'll constitute the fact that we should call it an STG44 DNA bomb, because he picked it up because he was out of ammo. What are you going to do, right? And he continued on his streak, then halftime hits, then he goes back to using the STG, and things are all good. So with that aside, let's go ahead and start talking about the Creator class a little bit here in this video while we wait for halftime, because right here is actually where we're going to be picking up the Ball 27. We're going to be using that until just about halftime, so we've got about a minute worth of Ball 27 gameplay before we get back to the STG. And while we do that, let's talk about this STG44 royalty class setup. So the royalty variant is going to give you +1 to your handling, +1 to your mobility, but -1 to your range, right? So it's not the greatest variant whatsoever. I mean, you see a lot of the variants that you got for the STG, none of them really look that amazing. Like, they're not extreme. Like, there's no real extremes to it. There's no like +3 damage or +3 range or +3 fire rate or anything like that. It's usually +1 or -1 to a couple of stats, right? It's not really anything exceptional. But yeah, that's going to be the royalty. And the attachments, I notice a lot of people like to run their STGs, because I pick up STGs all the time. I noticed that a lot of people like to run their STGs almost similar to how a lot of people like to run their HBR A3s, in that they like to have really no optical attachments. They really like to kind of keep the iron sights on there, and they opt out for things like the foregrip, the quick draw, and the adjustable stock, which are the attachments we're going to be using in this video, which I personally agree with. I love the iron sights of the STG. Sure, it does kick a bit, right? It definitely does kick a bit. It's got a lot of that view kick, so if you're trying to, you know, pick someone off at really long distances, which of course here on the map Fracture you do have a lot of those long range engagements, if you're trying to do that, you may have some difficulty, but I think it's just one of the skill gaps of the weapon, and if you can kind of master that, then of course you'll have a lot more benefit from using things like the foregrip, the quick draw, and the adjustable stock, right? In my opinion, red dot sights are not necessary on all weapons, right? But if you can get over having to use the red dot sight and you can kind of use the iron sights, and that frees up another attachment spot, I think that's definitely part of the skill gap for weapons, because having those extra attachments is going to help you, I think, a bit more as compared to having to use one of your gray class spots, and in fact one of your attachment spots on just an optical sight, right? Something to bear in mind. In terms of perks, we have low profile, we have blind eye, we have toughness, we have scavenger. Very bare bones, very basic in terms of the perks. You got low profile, which you see on probably 99.9% of classes in Advanced Warfare, to of course stay off the UAV unless you are shooting, because he's not using a silencer. He has blind eye to hide, of course, from big kill streaks, and of course toughness and scavenger, which are on on just about every episode of DNA Saturday, actually. You see toughness so often, it's just one of the go-to perks for a lot of different weapons. Of course, certain weapons don't really benefit from it, and that's understandable. But in terms of assault rifles, just about all of them are going to benefit from toughness, so you see that in a lot of classes. And Scavenger is kind of like a thing that people like to run in case, you know, they want to go on super high kill streaks, because you can't go get DNA bombs with just like one particular weapon unless you have Scavenger, right? You're going to have to pick up some other guns throughout there. So if you're somebody that likes to go for DNA bombs and you like to try and get, you know, really high kill gameplays while using one particular weapon, like you're a YouTuber or something, then of course Scavenger is going to be the way to go. But ultimately, I don't think Scavenger is really that useful of a perk. That's my own personal preference, though. I know a lot of you guys like it and a lot of you guys swear by it. Just my own personal preference, I don't see Scavenger being the greatest perk in the world, but of course you see a lot of people using it. And that's just going to be the class up. It's a very basic class up overall, but we're actually going to be approaching the DNA bomb here relatively quickly. So we're going to try and go over here towards the opposing team's spawn, which is going to be over here by their portal. He's going to get this guy, and he's going to get one more kill right around this corner, and he's actually going to pick up the DNA bomb. Now, I actually try something a little bit different in terms of the editing here, and I want to know if you guys like this. So right here is actually going to go ahead and pick up the DNA bomb. Of course he's going to call it in, because it's always great to call it in right away. I hate it when people, they get the DNA bomb and then they don't call it in right away, so I have to like skip forward in the video. It just makes the editing process a little bit weirder. It makes the video not look as genuine when you're constantly skipping around. But right here is the little editing trick right there. How do you like that? Huh? Anyone? I don't know. I think it looks kind of cool. I liked it. I decided to try something a little bit different, and hopefully you guys like it. So usually, of course, the screen goes white when the DNA bomb blows up, and I think that's a good time to transition right to the final score, rather than showing the kill feed, you know, lighting up with the kills, and then going to the final score instead of doing it that way. Let's try it this way this week and see if you guys like that. But there we go with the final score: 43 kills and 3 deaths, along with, of course, the DNA bomb running around with the royalty version of the STG44. I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of DNA Saturday, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel it deserves. And if you guys would like to submit your DNA bombs for next week's episode of DNA Saturday, simply watch the video that's on your screen right now. There's an annotation that you guys can click just by hovering your mouse over the video itself, or if you're on mobile, you can click the video link that's down in the video description. It should be at the very bottom of the video description. It'll take you over there to that video, and it will teach you everything you would ever want to know about submitting your stuff for DNA Saturday. If you guys would like to go ahead and check out Mr. Hospital Madness, you can do so by finding him over at youtube.com/YTMadnessOfficial. Just picture it as YouTube Madness Official, and you should be able to find his YouTube channel. Now, over there, he likes to post up Call of Duty content. He tries to upload 3 times a week, but recently, he hasn't been doing that so much. And the last time he was featured here, I'm like, man, you gotta get back on the ball, man. Get them videos out there. And he's actually taken that to heart, and he's actually uploading a lot more over on his YouTube channel. In his most recent video, he has announced that he is going to be going multi-COD. Thus, he is not only going to be playing Advanced Warfare, he's going to be posting videos of all the Call of Duty games, not just solely Advanced Warfare. But over there on his YouTube channel, you can find Call of Duty content. If you like high caliber gameplay, that is going to be the channel for you. He has a lot of DNA bombs, a lot of high kill gameplays, and now he's going multi-COD. It's not only going to be on Advanced Warfare, but he's also going to be posting up really good gameplays on Black Ops 2, presumably maybe Modern Warfare 3, Call of Duty Ghosts, whatever Call of Duty game he feels like playing, that is where you're going to be seeing. Again, his most recent video is a Black Ops 2 gameplay where he gets over 100 kills. Like, we all know how hard that can be. I only had it happen once to me in Black Ops 2, so it's definitely no easy feat. He's a great player. Go ahead and give him a look once again at youtube.com/YTMadnessOfficial, and go ahead and check him out. He has just over 2,500 subscribers at the time of this video going up, and that would definitely be awesome if he could somehow get up there closer to 3,000. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed this episode of DNA Saturday, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.